Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, 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 as in high vibe. We're so high. When you sit down in the chair, people will say to Abraham, hi, and they'll go, we are. And I'm like, oh my God, we are flying high. Noah, you want to say hi?
Hello, hello. I am here. Hi, too.
Let the party begin. Noah is in the house. All right, well, this is episode one of High Vibe Chats. One of how many? I have no idea, but I know that this is going to be fun. And I would like to thank Noah and some of my other fabulous Abraham friends that helped get us here to this point. 2025 has been a big year for me. I jumped into Caribbean cruise in April and then decided I needed to go to Scotland for 2 days for Edinburgh event. And then we did Asheville for 2 days. And then I did Canadian cruise, which is a crazy manifestation story. And thinking about doing San Antonio, home of Abraham Hicks Publications. And I met lovely Noah on the Caribbean cruise. Noah and his partner Jack were on Caribbean cruise, and it's been surprise and delight and fun and excitement and banter and playfulness since the day I met Noah.
Yes. Like, listen, we met, everyone was blabbing, and then I decided to knock over the salt shaker on the table, and everyone's laughing. And that moment has just kept everything going. I don't know why, just the silliness of it all and getting them energy moving. It's been high flying ever since. It hasn't even been like a year since we've known each other. Like, that just blows my mind, just how good friends we are.
I totally agree. When you said it hasn't even been a year, I was like, wait, it's only been like 6 months.
Uh-huh.
It feels like we've known each other a lifetime. And I think that's the power of quality friendships. We're going to talk about masterminding today, and I put a link in the comments below. Noah is amazing and brought me this concept of masterminding, or Noah's basically like, hey, do you want to mastermind? You want to build a snowman? Hey, do you want to? And I was like, Noah, I want to do anything you're doing. Like, I want to Taco Bell Vortex with you. I want to mastermind with you. I want to go to Asheville with you. I just want to play, play, play and have fun, have friends, have fun with my friends, eat good food. So, Noah is the queen of all of this, the masterminding, which is a high vibe connection, the Taco Bell Vortex, which Noah's going to explain to you because nobody explains it like Noah explains it, and point of attraction play. You guys, do you know what this is doing for our point of attraction? Noah is the queen, and Noah is such an inspiration. And we've really honed our relationship, our masterminding um, over the last couple of months, I
Yes.
guess. Um, I think you brought this to me after Edinburgh, after May. I'm not sure, doesn't matter, but Noah is magician when it comes to if you have a question about like, hey, what did Abraham say, or what was that one hot seat, or who, whatever, give Noah about 10.2 seconds and boom, there's a link for you. So the link below to the YouTube Abraham video is courtesy of our magician Noah. And then what we're gonna do is me being the geek that I am, I took notes, of course. So Noah sends me this amazing link about masterminding and co creating. And I immediately started a note, of course, and then added Noah to it. And I'm like pausing the video and taking notes and writing things down. And then even Michelle jumps in and she's like, oh, here's my cliff notes. So, anyways, when this is all done, I'll share this with you. So don't freak out about worrying about finding the video link or finding the notes or repeating what we're saying. Obviously, you can come back and watch this, but more importantly, we're going to give you the tools to re listen and think about it. And hopefully, you can create some of these powerful I'll call them magical just because it's fun relationships. So, without further ado, Noah, do you want to talk a little bit about masterminding, Taco Bell Vortex, and point of attraction? And then we'll get started. We'll jump right in.
Yes, 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 yes. But I just want to say we are creators. This is what creators look like. We are not sitting at the top of the hill meditating 24/7. Creation is really just having the energy, move forward, and we just sort of come along for the ride. Like what we want's already been created, and we just sort of party our way there. That's what the Taco Bell vortex is. Esther would go to Taco Bell with her friend, and they would just laugh and laugh over nothing. It was nothing important. They're not doing anything. And Esther would take from just sitting at Taco Bell, she's like, oh my God, think about what this is doing for our vibration. Like, we are just in a greater allowing state and everything's easier. It's like all because we just sat around and laughed our asses off. Like it's not hard. You just gotta go Taco Bell.
Yeah,
And
and you know what? I think that's how people feel when they leave an Abraham event. Is just like, okay, how do I keep this good vibe going? And sometimes we think we're trained to think it's action oriented, and it's not. Grab a good friend, go watch the ducks at the park, go to Taco Bell, go to an amusement park, go be silly, get your parasol out and walk down the street and wave at people and say hello, put googly eyes. Like, we underestimate our power of play and what it's doing for our point of attraction. And the other day, I heard Abraham say, you guys, you have energy at your fingertips. You are squandering all of this magic and power. And so Noah is like the epitome of play and fun and bip and bop and sift and sort and point of attraction. You're the queen.
yes, well, you are too. We're both in the vicinity. But really, Esther was Abraham saying, goof off more. And goofing off is loving yourself enough to suspend all the unnecessary chatter. You're loving yourself enough to just focus on having fun. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of energy moving and you're well on your way.
Yeah, it
Really.
takes focus, right? At Scotland, if any of you guys were there or had the recording, which I highly recommend. 2 day events are like build and build and build. Anyways, at Scotland, there was a guy who was getting into DJing for himself and mixing music, and they said, "How much of your day would you say you do this?" And before he could even answer, they go, "Well, let us help you out with that." Not enough. They said 90%. 90% of your day, we would like to see you playing. The other 10%, you can feed yourself and do the dishes and whatever, but 90% play. And then they shared a story about how Esther had gotten onto this project recently. And for like 8 weeks, she's like foaming at the mouth, excited and and creating and like getting up early and can't sleep and and at the end of the 8 or the 10 weeks, it didn't come to fruition. And Esther's friend says to her, "Oh my gosh, you must be so disappointed. It didn't happen." And Esther's like, "Are you kidding me? On the time of my life, I was this and that, and I was best 10 weeks of my life." Even though the thing didn't come to fruition, she was so distracted with 90% play and following her bliss, that they said like 10 other things that were hanging over here just self-resolved because of the focus on play and feeling good and happiness and not getting bogged down with the resistance.
Hmm. It's really Esther's a crazy person. Esther's blowing kisses at the cars and she's like, you don't need to blow kisses. But as long as you're in the feeling frisky and allowing that energy to come through, you're good. You're good. You don't have to blow kisses at the cars and go crazy.
Unless you want to, right? And so lately I've been like thinking about So POA is LOA. So point of attraction is law of attraction. And I'm like, okay, well, what really is POA? And I thought, well, POA is your mood. And like you said, do I feel frisky? Do I feel fun? Do I feel angry, tired, bogged down? Because you get what you put out. And that's the law of attraction. POA is LOA. Your mood is what you're attracting. And so by playing and being silly and fun, we're attracting more of that. The other day, or they were talking about, I think it was Scotland, and they're like, if you come up at like a stoplight, or there's the car next to you has a dog in it, they're like, just look at that dog. And it won't be very long, and that dog is going to turn his attention to you. And like, that's fun and that's silly. If you want to blow kisses, blow kisses. If you don't, do it energetically inside, but you be you and be frisky and fun. Right?
Yes. We're just saying be yourself. The spontaneous way. And really, the spontaneous way is how you find your path of least resistance. Like, I'm someone who will just shout it out to get what I want. I was at the Connecticut Tarrytown Abraham event, and everyone's already in line. And I'm like, I live here. I want friends. And sure, the law of attraction can deliver them to me, be like, oh, I live in your city too. But I'm just standing there. I'm like, hello, attention, please. I live over here. If you live over here too and want to be friends, come see me. And they all ran over, and it wasn't hard. The law of attraction can do it, but just being yourself, you can deliver it too, just by being
Yeah.
silly and loud.
Yeah, I love that story because, like you said, I literally just hollered out, this is what I want. And it came, and we were talking about that the day after. And I'm like, sometimes you just have to put the glasses on or brush your teeth or go handle the situation. That is sometimes action, inspired action is the path of least resistance. And that was it. It was inspired action. You like literally just cried out, does anyone want to be my friend? Which is classic Noah. If any of you guys know Noah, that's probably how you met Noah. They were either knocking over a salt shaker, or he was like, hi, oh, hello, oh, hello.
Uh-huh. It's really, this is just goofing off. I'm not doing anything serious, and they'll feel that and respond to it. And that's just how it goes. It's very simple.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to jump into my geeky notes, and I'm going to try and stick to the highlights here
Yes.
because we will put these notes in for everybody else. But the hot seat guy basically sits down and says, I love numbers. And everybody's heard about the 17 seconds. If we can get on a tangent, a positive tangent or rampage for 17 seconds, things begin to shift and move for us. And so they say that 17 seconds getting excited about something or appreciation, that he was saying that Abraham once had said it's equal to about 2,000 action hours. So if you're thinking of it from a business perspective, you're like, oh, I should sit down and write a Facebook ad or do a marketing plan or whatever. Or for 17 seconds, you could get out a piece of paper and a pen and write down all the things that you love about your customers and what you love about your company and what you love about your product or your services. And then one thought follows another thought, another, and blah, 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 and you're off and running. So his question is, if 17 seconds equals 2,000 action hours, what is the leverage when we deliberately create as a mastermind group? And no, kind of already introduced mastermind. Mastermind is when two or more people who are in alignment come together for the purpose of being more, thinking bigger, if you will. So, what Abraham begins to say is that it's momentum. You start building momentum. So let's say Noah is like, Oh my God, I had the best day ever. My new cat, which maybe will make an appearance, my new cat woke me up and was like purring and cuddling with me, and it felt so good, and it's so much fun, and it feels like this and this. And then I would say, oh my gosh, that's so great. I was at the park the other day, and you're off and running, and you've got this momentum. And so it says, when two or more, it's best if you just start with two in reasonable alignment are having general high vibe conversation for the purpose of feeling consciously the power of the increased thought. So the purpose is not about the words or checking topics off of your conversation, and it's about the feeling place of. And if we could pick one thing that Abraham's been talking a lot lately about, it's finding the feeling place of. In fact, Noah just posted a great video under YouTube videos we like on the left hand column of our circle platform. And it was Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and it was about this Dior dress. And there's just this scene. It's almost like when Esther hugged the flowers in Scotland, but there's this scene where she's embracing the dress. And the lady who had bought it, the homeowner, said, I just love this feeling that I have when I'm in the dress. Like nothing else matters and nothing else exists. And there's this beautiful music playing, and the housekeeper's like holding on to this, but it's the feeling place up. And so that's the goal. So that you connect with someone, you're both in alignment, and you're searching for the feeling place of that which, not searching for, but you're appreciating the feeling
We
of.
know what we want, and we're going to allow thoughts that come in to match that through a conversation. And the funny thing about it is that the mastermind, I'm talking, you're talking, I'm talking, and my inner being, who we're both tuning to our own inner beings, but I have access to my inner being who might say something relevant to Kerri. And there's this whole sort of four-way interaction happening while we're all doing our chatting. And it's so subtle, we don't even
Yes.
know it's happening.
Y- Yes, and the magic of that, thank you. That was amazing description. The magic of that is that Noah and Noah's inner being don't have the resistance that Carrie has. Obviously, my inner being doesn't have resistance, and my inner being's over here going, hey, Carrie, have you thought about this? What if you did that? And I would say that that is how this high vibe chat series started. Is I had a desire, and my inner being is trying to show me the path of least resistance. And then I have a conversation with someone like Noah, who's in alignment and has an inner being. And Noah and his inner being and my inner being are like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Carrie hears it differently because of the power of two, the power of us coming together and connecting to the master mind, which is infinite intelligence.
Yes. You could think of it as a little bit of a hive mind. The best way to describe it is almost like a writer's room, and everyone, we all know what the scene is going to be, but what are the words they're going to say, what is the stage direction, all that, and everyone's sort of thinking together until it feels like it's your own thought, your own specific thought, but everybody is on the same board, and everybody in the room is able to coordinate themselves to have the best scene that they couldn't think of on their own. It could only
Yes.
happen because they were all in the room summoning this particular thing forward.
Yes, yes, that's a great analogy. I love analogies, and Abraham gives us a lot of analogies and stories because they're easy for us to relate to. That's freaking amazing. I love the writer's room. And at the end of the video, they start talking about how Jerry and Esther were masterminding in the beginning. And it was exactly what you just said. It's like, wait, whose thought was that? Was that your thought or my thought? And it really is no division there. It's thought. is in the air. And that really, if you're somewhat new to this, when you start grasping that thought is in the air, it has nothing to do with physical proximity. Noah's on the East Coast, I'm in Utah, middle America. Doesn't matter if you're tuning in from Ireland or Amsterdam with us, thought exists. And this is a really fun and crazy concept that we've started to play with. Ooh, I just got thrill bumps. It's just a really cool concept to go, oh, I can tune into different thought patterns with my desire to focus. And like you said, the multiple entities, if you will, thinking in a direction. And sometimes it's just play.
Uh-huh. It's really wild to think about, but when you're there, it's just snap, 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 snap. It's so fast you can't really keep track of it, and unless you sort of submit yourself to the vibration, you got to give up. You got to be like, we're doing this, okay? And I can play along too. I got my own thoughts about this. So just dive in. Just do that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it's not even about, I think like you said, you just gotta dive in and let go of ego and be a participant. It's like, hey, the water's warm. Come on in. It's like the stream of well-being. I love that analogy. It's like the stream is there, whether you're in it or not. And so just the stream is there. Just come on in.
Uh-huh.
Get in. You know how to get in. All you have to do is leave your baggage at the door and you're in the stream of well-being. And this is what they told me in Canada when I was on stage with my question in the hot seat was like shining or light or being in alignment is so powerful. Others are drawn to us and they're drawn to us in a new and different way. They literally said, even anybody who's in the vicinity of their vortex and feeling good are sucked in by you and your inner being and infinite intelligence because this is such a powerful magnet over here. We have the ability to suck people in a positive way. And they said, even though this person is over here and their inner being has been trying to call them over here, over here, over here, sometimes it's another physical human that is the grease, maybe greases the wheel enough where they're like boom and then they're like, oh, this is so much fun over here, and you're like, isn't it though?
Kerri is the biggest magnet ever, ever, ever. Because we are in Asheville together, and Kerri's telling me, Noah, do you want to go on this haunted bus tour? And I would have never gone on my own. I'm like, oh
Sorry,
my goodness.
haunted comedy bus tour
Okay, okay.
for drunk people and people in alignment and bad jokes and all that. Yeah.
But I would have never gone. But Kerri gives me the ring a ling a ling, and she's so on about this. And I say to you, I'm like, I am unable to say no. You know this? And she's like, well, you got to come over, come along. And I had it was just so strong. I couldn't do anything about it. And everyone in our vicinity came along too. Jack and Marlene, they all came on the bus with us.
Yep. Dr. Ramsey and our crazy girl from Miami, Lorena. And by the way, that was Jesse Sheffield's idea from Wales. She was flying in and she came up with the idea because I said, let's do something fun. Like, that's the magic of 2 day events. And Tarek was talking about this in Asheville on Sunday. He was in the hot seat right before me. And he says, let's party, party, party. He called them land cruises, but the multi day events are so great because you go in, it's so good, and you're masterminding. And in the video, Abraham says to the hot seater, this is masterminding. You, as a hot seater, came with your question in alignment, and you're hooking up to Esther and her inner being and infinite intelligence. And we're going to give you the answer. And we think you're going to hear it because of the power of masterminding. And then they said, beyond the mastermind of the person in the hot seat, and Esther and Abraham was the whole room of Abrahamsters, as you like to say, um, is the whole power. And they call that um, like a bigger mastermind. But the magic is that everybody in the room is there for a positive purpose and focused on well-being. And so they called it like a super mastermind when more than two people get together. But Tarek was talking about, party, 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 come into seminar, go out, have dinner, do the crazy ghost comedy tour, and we play and we bip and bop because Abraham tells us that words don't teach, experiences do. You gotta get out there, go find someone that's super high vibe. Or they said, in the video, they're like, the guy's like, who am I looking for? And they're like, you're looking for someone happy.
Uh,
You're looking for someone happy, not particularly the guy who wants to philosophize or someone who you have a little bit of a different opinion. You want someone happy. And as I heard that today, I go, holy shit. If that's not Noah on a stick, I don't know what is. Like, if you want a mastermind with someone who just wants to be happy, that's Noah.
I want to mention that some of this magnetizing, it really feels because this is something I read in the Seth book. They were saying that an emotion carries a greater electrical mass, and that is why it has a higher opportunity to have it be manifested. And the emotion, this is coupled with an Abraham thing, but having having a feeling is the purest form of communication between you and your inner being. And so as you're feeling this, and it's it's growing and growing and expanding, it's able to draw more, and it's uncontradicted, and so it really is, it blows up into the most wonderful manifestation you could ever possibly have, because your inner being knows you, and you tended to it, and it just has such a speed to it that it's it's just big. It's really big, but it's not hard. It just feels like a really wild spinning drawing experience. I
I was
know you had
so
that too.
That was so brilliant. This is why I love you. Love, 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 love you. Yes, yes, yes. Like there was so much there that like I lose track, and geeky me wanted to write it down and take notes, but I was so mesmerized by you. I'm like, bitch, you can listen to this later and take notes. Like I'm just like watching you, and you are so right. And I love it when I love how you acknowledge Seth saying the electromagnetic weight of it is so much greater by finding the feeling place of it. And sometimes it's get off the topic, right? Like sometimes we
Hmm.
know we have something stuck in our craw. We just want to go play and be silly and find the feeling place of freedom or abundance, right? So let's say I'm doing accounting and I'm not feeling so abundant. I might stop and go outside and look at the clouds and go, now there's some abundance, or the trees, or abundance of love, or anything to get off the topic. But like you said, this feeling emotion, it's everything. It's the draw. It's not action. It's finding the feeling place of. And like you said, it's not hard, but we're not trained to do it. And I think that's the beauty of this work, if you work,
Listen,
is
Kerri
that
is the speed queen. She sits next to me at the Abraham, and you have a gravitational pull. You have a gravitational pull, and it's really wild sitting next to you, because like I feel a little interrupted in my own spin, but I'm like, oh, there's a spin over here, and I'm like, I will come along, and it's wild. It's, if you've ever gotten the call from Kerri, you're just like suspended in anything you can do, because Kerri's pulling you in. She's like, come over here. We're doing high five chats. Everyone is coming because Kerri's got the gravity
We're
of
booking retreat level suites on the cruise so that we can have our own room to party and play. And oh my God. So, my dear new friend Rachel and Co from Japan, were on Canadian cruise and they rented out the royal suite. And Rachel insisted there's a bathtub on the deck, insisted on having this bubble bath party. So there we are with so many bubbles coming out of this gigantic two-person tub. We all had swimsuits on. Get your mind out of the gutter. And there are like bubbles like overflowing into the ocean. Don't worry, I'm sure they were hyperallergenic, organic, whatever. As we're drinking champagne with bubbles, and it's like, God, it feels good to feel good. And we get to be that in this world too. We get to be just so bright that people just can't help but go, that's good. And
right.
we draw them out of their stuff when we do that too. We've all seen hot seaters who sit down and they're very wrapped up in the motion or the question end of the stick. And immediately Abraham's like, hey, let's come over here where it's funny or it's fun. And then they want to go back to this end, and Abraham's like, yeah, but and then they say something funny. And yeah, I've always been that person. I certainly dropped onto this planet in this time space to be the fun, like, hey, let's go do this. I
Hmm.
really, there are just no words, like you said, to describe what you can co-create together. And it's not for the purpose, like I don't call up Noah and say, hey, let's go Taco Bell Vortex because I want to manifest $1 million. I just call up Noah because I'm like, bitch, I miss you. Where have you been? And then my favorite's like, Noah's like, no man, I've been talking to you energetically, are you not getting it? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, all right, click, I'll try that, click. You know what?
Like,
Which
we're psychics and we don't really know it. I feel it more every day. We're psychics.
really, really, and it's funny as I'm putting myself out there more with this stuff and the work. We are psychic and we are channelers and we are whatever naughty, dirty word you want to think of. But I knew you like that. I wish Noah had his fan. It's so great. Noah got us these fans for Asheville, which was so Southern perfect. And we would just fan ourselves and we would walk into the room like, hey, this is your
Uh-huh.
energy. Mm,
Frisky, and everyone knows it's like, oh, here they come. Here comes trouble. Here comes momentum that we can't stop. What are they going to do now?
it's momentum for the sake of momentum because it's fun. And when we're distracted with fun and focus on fun, oh my God, I'm getting the weirdest twitch right here. Noah, I've never had a twitch right here.
Her clavicle?
No, it's like this. There's like a vein or something that runs, and
Oh,
I'm getting this weird twitch. Let me tell you, people, when Noah and I get together, weird shit happens. Like, oh, that's it. Okay, 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 I get it now. Weird shit happens, as in weird. Yes, we're psychic, we're weird, we're heretics, we're anomalies, we're chandlers, we're whatever. As soon as you can just let go of that label and let yourself off the hook and go, I have an inner being, and I know that I'm beginning to receive messages and signs and signals from my inner being. And Abraham is teaching us to curate that relationship so much so that they give us this masterminding and say, hey, if you've got someone, then great. But okay, so this signal, like I said, I was just talking, I was about to get into how weird and funny things are when Noah and I get together because we have insane things. Like we started a crazy chat with Prince
oh my
one
God.
day, and I was like, Noah, that was you. That was 100% you. I was like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, Noah, like, are you talking to Prince right now? Or I don't know, something crazy like that. And
That's my gravitational pull because Prince had to go through Kerri just so he could chat with me because I was never gonna imagine chatting with anyone. It just wasn't in the car. I wasn't considering it. And Carrie's like, he wants to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, let's see what he has to say. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek. And really, this is insanity, but it's real. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I guess I'm talking to Prince now. He found a way. He found a way through Carrie, but I had a pull for him to come through, and it was just wild.
Well, the other part of that is that's what Abraham and our non physical team, whether you call it Prince or Jerry or Abraham or Seth or whatever, if you have a name for your inner being or you don't have an name for your inner being, it doesn't matter. I call it my non physical team. Sometimes I'm specific, like I talk to Jerry a lot. And I find that very clear and simple, whereas something like Prince gets a little muddy for me, because I'm just barely stepping into the acceptance that, like, if you wanted to talk to Einstein about a scientific question, you just go, okay, Einstein, um, I got something here, and I think you can help me, and you're looking for clarity, right? And yeah, so it was interesting to me. Like I said, I don't know where the Prince thing came from, but I was so pulled to say it. And then Noah's like, "Oh my God, really? You had to go through Carrie to get to me?" And then I was like, "Okay, I get it. I'm not crazy. I did hear that." And whether you did or did not, it doesn't matter. And I'm also don't get too hung up on like, oh, what does this twitch mean versus the thrill bumps that I got earlier today. It's more about tracking the feeling, like you were saying, Noah. What was I feeling or thinking when I got the response? For me, it's a physical response. A lot of people see energy, hear. It's just my thing. It doesn't have to be your thing. You get to
Mhm.
determine. Just like Esther says, her right eye is earthquakes, left eye is tornado. It's what she's established, it's what she wants. Esther wants Jerry to be just Jerry and Abraham to be Abraham and not Jerry in the Abraham soup. But Abraham tells us of all sorts of stories of Esther talking to all sorts of people, including one of our favorites, Napoleon Hill. Jerry was on stage giving a presentation based upon Napoleon's work. And Esther couldn't wait for him to get off stage and was like, Jerry, Jerry, oh my God, Napoleon wants to talk to you.
Oh goodness. Hello.
They talk about this all the time about they were building a special kind of house that was a hyperbole, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Um, and the person who, the architect who created this kind of design, who was non physical, and Jerry and Esther had been spending hours and hours on this house project and this special kind of hyperbole, blah, 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 whatever. And Esther woke up one morning. Oh, I just got the thrill bumps. Oh, I got it on both sides. That might be the architect. It's Jerry. Jerry wants to say hi.
Hi,
Jerry loves it.
Jerry.
Jerry loves it when we play, and that was Jerry's life mission, is that people would know their connection to non-physical and inner being and begin to play. But anyways, Esther woke up in early one morning or something like that and just started writing and channeling like all this architectural stuff Esther has no knowledge of, doesn't make any sense to her, but they were able to take that to their current architect and go, hey, not quite sure how they phrased it, but so yeah, we have access to non-physical, infinite intelligent at whatever level you want to play and be comfortable with. I know everybody's is different, but it's fun how a surprise and delights you, right, Noah?
Uh-huh. So you're like Napoleon wants to talk to you, and I'm like seeing if what Napoleon has to say, and I feel like the yes, 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 come over here, yes, 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 and this is what I've learned because I just got a kitten Friday, And I've never been the vocal one to try and coax anyone or anything to do anything. But I'm like, oh, I have to talk to Kitty. I have to say, here, Kitty, Kitty, here, Kitty, Kitty. And I'm like, I look like a fool doing this, but I have to. It's like when you talk to your baby, you have to vocalize it. And I know Abraham's like less talky, more feely, but when we're doing the tuning and to a non-physical or vortex or inner being, it is a confirmation that yes, 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 this is the path. Here, kitty, kitty, come over here so we can play. And
Yes.
it's
As
wild.
always, as always, that's a great story, a great analogy. And again, I think this is what helps us learn. And I think too, for people who are developing, I mean, we're all always developing our relationship with inner being, God, source energy, higher self, whatever you'd like to call it. But when we hear stories like this, it really helps us understand, like, oh yeah, that did happen to me, and I can't quite describe it other than that, and that matches. And um, yeah, and listen, songwriters, musicians, artists, musicians, let's take a band talking about masterminding and the writers room. It's like, okay, you have a vocal singer, you have the guitar bass, you have the drummer, you have the piano person, you have the trumpet, five people coming together in alignment producing something that's way more than themselves. And then, like you said, thank you for the compliment, by the way. Like, if you've ever been around Kerri, like one person connected is so powerful, way more powerful than millions who are not. So if you take that band of five people connected, holy shit, I guess that's what fills stadiums of 50,000, people, and the energy of we're here to play, pardon the pun. um, yeah, just really good stuff, isn't it? No matter what level of learning you're at.
Uh-huh. It's jazz. And I've been to the jazz concerts and it can feel like, oh my goodness, they're going on and on and on. But what you gotta be in the band to really know what you're doing. And it's like, oh, the piano's doing this. Oh, this will complement that. And real, real expansion of whatever material we were using before.
Not a coincidence that you just said expansion. So I was listening to the hot seat video right before we got on, and it said for the purpose of expansion. And I immediately went, Noah. Noah is the epitome of wanting expansion, whatever that looks like. Like we go do this and then we're hungry. And so we've expanded and now we're hungry and we fill our bellies and then we're satiated. Like expansion. Noah is always looking for expansion, fun, risky, high vibe, more please, content with where you are, eager for more. And you guys, there's no end to this. Esther is continuing to grow and grow and expand and expand and expand, which is shocking. She and Jerry have been doing this 40 years. 40 years. And Esther said at Canadian Cruise, she uh, said, Jerry is causing me, through Abraham, obviously, for those who are like, what? I jump around a lot. And you're all in alignment. It doesn't matter. You got me. We're all one, they just said. Is that you, Jerry? Esther said that now that Jerry has transitioned, that her life is so much more full with this new learning, what Jerry wants to teach her. That's kind of like, right?
Mm-hmm. It's just there's so much information, and Esther will just wake up and have a big old download, and it's so fast that you can feel that's it because time you like it's like the seed in the ground and it grows and it's almost like a time lapse of it And it's so difficult to understand it, but it's not difficult to feel what is going on. And that is why she's like, reach for the feeling, because it feels like this is happening because it is happening. And you can feel your POA doing all the things for you. Just feel it.
It's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. This is masterminding. That was brilliant because Terry's like, you're welcome. That's exactly how this works. We're all playing here in the now. And even though you're listening to it maybe at a different time, not live, we're still here. Every thought you ever exist still is here. The thought form, the conversation, the leading edge thought is still here. And Jerry's still here, and non physical is still here. It's still here. But I freaking love that. You are so brilliant. Like, we put these seeds in the ground, and obviously you can't see below ground, so they're asking us to find the feeling of, what does that seed feel like? Let's say whatever, you put it in the ground, and that's exactly what Jerry was saying to Esther is, Esther, look for the feeling of, you're pregnant with the vortexual item. It's going to take some time to unfold. Be happy about the baby coming, the manifestation coming, the seed that you've planted, and find the feeling of. In marketing, they always say you don't sell the airplane, you sell the destination. You sell the feeling of, right?
Mhm.
And that's what brings us to the manifestation and the connecting of the dots. The other thing they talked a lot about, Canadian cruise, was looking for things where they are. So when Esther is hooking up with Jerry and masterminding, which, by the way, what she does now, she said she's an excellent typer. Like, I don't know, world record 180, whatever. So she'll wake up and she'll type to Jerry. She'll like type her questions, and Jerry will spawn. And they're just having this conversation, albeit she's typing. Now, that's not to say that you have to type, but that's how they're communicating. And Jerry is giving her new thoughts and feeding her things, but she has to be looking for it where it is. She doesn't go looking for Jerry. Like, when he first transitioned, she was upset. And she's like, Jerry, where are you? And that was the first time where Abraham said, "Esther, you have to look for him where he is. Where he is now is in non-physical, infinite intelligence, high vibe. You can't be low vibe and have a conversation with non physical. You got to warm yourself up and get up to speed. And then you get sucked into the vortex, and off we go. And everything you need is in that. In that space, the lyrics, the everything you need,
Mhm. Everything you
bespoke.
want is in the vortex.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, okay. So that's what I've been focusing on lately is find the feeling of and look for things where they are. So one of the things that hit for me was relationships. A lot of people go through a variety of relationships, and they experience contrast, right? It's like, oh, I was in the this, and I didn't like this, or I didn't care for this, but I like this, and this. So the good items go into your vortex, and the things that you didn't like can stay there if you let them stay there, and you go looking for that relationship that you want in the vortex. Does
I
that make
know.
sense? So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, all that, and we just want to we're like a dog on the bone. This guy, this person, this relationship, and then this. But wait, there's more. It's like, okay, you sifted and you sorted. You had a step one moment with some contrast. You don't like this, which helped you get clarity on what you do want over here. So go looking for it where it's at and find the feeling place of that, not that. What do you think about that?
It's all a feeling, and it's a feeling you tend to, and then it grows and grows. But really, Esther was saying, Abraham was saying, every every story is the same. You have your point of attraction, and then it came to be. So you're just setting up your POA in every way you can, and you step into it. Every new segment, it's like, this is what I want to see. Oh, this is what I want to see. And just carry yourself throughout the day, and there it will be.
Yeah. Yeah, that really is it, isn't it? I'm working on a new segment within our community, and it's called the Body Game. And we have a group of people and some friends, and I am going to start with that. I'm going to teach them meditation, connection, listening, what you just said, your POA or your mood is your LOA. POA is LOA. So my mood, whether I'm happy or frisky or beat, that's how I get slimmier.
Slimmier.
We're gonna love it when we make up words. A slimmer, healthier, that's how I move towards the vortex version of my body. And so I'm taking people who may or may not have any Abraham laws of the universe knowledge, and I'm saying, just get in the vortex. Just get happy. Just focus on your mood. Just feel good. Put on some music, dance, have a high vibe conversation, whatever it is to make you happy, because that's where the new healthy, happy, whatever version of your body is. It's in the vortex. It's in the vortex. It's not beating yourself up running 20 fucking miles and your knees hurt, or calorie restricting, or it's none of the negative stuff. It's all the good stuff. So I'm really excited to see how we can build that momentum of 90% play, Taco Bell vortexing, and like, you guys, can you imagine what this is doing for our point of attraction? And then people are going to be like, seriously, Kerri, you want me to believe that I can lose 50 pounds by laughing? Do it again, Noah. Do it again.
Oh my goodness.
Gary. That's what my new friend from Scotland. Mari and her dad, Charlie, are from Scotland, and I met them in a Canadian cruise, and they are so funny. He cannot say my name once. It has to be three times. Gary. Usually because he's trying to get my attention like a little kid, because he's doing something and I'm like not having it. And I'm over here and he's like, Gary. And then at dinner on our last night, his daughter goes, "It's like Beetlejuice." I go, "Oh, great. I just got demoted to
Oh my
Beetlejuice.
gosh.
Beetlejuice." And I was like, there's kind of, I go, well, Beetlejuice is dead. And that does kind of track. That's our joke now. Carrie. You can't just say it once. And Rachel's husband, Ko from Japan, he doesn't talk a whole lot. He listens and he understands us and he participates in the group. Talk about nonverbal communication. He's amazing. But when he does speak, it's funny. And I was getting out of the car and I said, "Hey, thanks. I'll see you guys later." And he goes, Carrie. Oh my God. So, anyways, Carrie, you're telling me I can lose weight by meditating and being happy? Yeah. Yeah. When you point your boat downstream and you let go of the struggle and you let your cork and float to the top and let your non physical team and your inner being and those around you and their inner beings show you the way.
Frisky feels skinny. Esther, and I know you'll go all about this on your own, but Esther would tell the story how whenever she wanted to feel thin, she's like, "Oh, I have this red dress on and my favorite heels, and I'm going to go see Jerry." And she's feeling frisky and alive, and that feels skinny. I don't know why, but frisky feels skinny.
It does. Frisky, sexy, light, free, um, excited. Yeah, you just like, yeah, it's
It's a match.
Yes.
It's a
Say
match.
that again.
It's a match to skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the finding the feeling place of, right? So they talk about you can't feel fat and get skinny. You can't get there from there. One of Jerry's favorite sayings. You can't get there from there. You can't feel fat and get skinny, but you can feel hopeful. You can move up the emotional scale. You can feel hopeful. You can find contentment. You can find appreciation for something. And then you join up with a fun, frisky friend and you go Taco Bell vortexing or high vibe chatting. And then you find the feeling of frisky and fun and silly and is
So
and delight. And
you were talking and you mentioned pregnant, and Esther was telling the story. She sees a pregnant person and she's like, "Oh, why are you so happy?" And she's like, "I'm expecting. I'm expecting. This is all going to happen, and I'm going to have a child." But expectation, I expect to feel skinny thoughts and expect to be skinny. I expect this to happen.
expect to be slipping on that red dress and heels or the skinny jeans or whatever the feeling is for that person who's wanting to align with the vortex version of themselves as I'm creating content and pulling things together for me. I was like, okay, well, I need to help. I want to help point people towards find the feeling of be light, frisky, fun, because you can't make a quantum leap, right? You can't take
Mhm.
someone who is 50 pounds overweight and just doesn't feel good. You can't take them from there to woo, oh, right? So, but I thought, what's a good feeling? And interestingly, you posted the video about the Dior dress in YouTube about the same time. But my
Uh-huh.
feeling was the feeling of pulling on the skinny jeans and they fit for the first time in a long time. I think every girl can relate to the feeling of putting the skinny jeans on and the heels, and you're like, my, I did it. But it's a feeling that you've probably had. And though, even though you're not currently there and you, you're nowhere close to getting the jeans up, you can find the feeling place of it.
Mhm.
You can find the feeling place of it, and that's what we do as teachers is we and as students finding the feeling place up, and then like you said, it has to come, and then as you keep trying those genes on and you're gaining momentum and momentum and momentum on these positive thoughts, you're surrounded by others in this mastermind group where you're gaining momentum, and then all of a sudden the jeans kind of go on, and then the jeans go on and you can almost button them, and then the jeans go on, then they can kind of half zip and maybe a button, and then the jeans go on, but you can't breathe or sit down or eat. So you're not quite ready to wear those to dinner yet because you really want to go eat and breathe at the same time. There's that point, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so close. And that must be like the baby who's like a week away, where you're like, oh, it's so close. I can almost smell that baby and touch their skin, and just like you can feel it, right? And
Uh-huh.
if we can that's it, that's my new find the feeling place of it's going to be the skinny jean concept.
We're all masterminds. Like,
um,
oh, think about what this is doing for our point of attraction.
yeah. And be silly and be frisky and be fun and let your inner being call you to those things that uh, are going to guide you more towards the vortex and wanted, and then you'll get it and you'll go, okay, what's next?
Mhm. This conversation isn't over. It continues even after all of this.
That's a brilliant point because every time you and I have a conversation, it always builds and builds, and there's always surprise and delight. Like I said, "Oh, yeah, you posted that video about the feeling of the dress when I was thinking about the skinny jean analogy." Like, it's bigger than us. It's
I was
bigger.
totally inspired. I don't know why, but I saw you posting so many things, and I'm like, I want to post here too. And
I don't know why, are like the
yeah,
famous, like, I
yeah.
don't know why this happened. I love looking at people going, really? Really? But
It
that's
just
how it
happened.
goes
Yeah.
with us. This happens all the time. You're like, I don't know why, but I felt inspired to post and share and co-create. And I love that writer room analogy. I think that that is brilliant, and I think it's something easy for people to attach to.
Mhm.
Whether the people in your writing room is you and your inner being, and Abraham and Jerry or Mozart or Prince or Napoleon Hill, Louise Hay. Oh God, I love playing with Louise Hay. Whoever's in your writing room, it doesn't matter. You don't have to explain it to anyone else. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to label it. You don't have to even tell anyone. But let's be clear, people in alignment, channeling, leads, writers, they're connecting to that mastermind in the writing room.
Mhm. You got your own
Final,
inner writing room.
final thoughts, Noah. Bring it home for us.
Oh, I don't know. This is just us being silly, and it's all gonna come to us later. Like this moment is much bigger in and of itself. Like this is all old news. What we think is the present, whatever. There's a new thing coming, and you're gonna have a new thought, and I'll have a new thought, and you're watching, and you're having a new thought. This we're just beginning. It's the first episode.
That's exactly it. And like you said, as you like rewatch this at different times, you hear it differently. Um, I just listened to the Mastermind link again. I haven't listened to it in months, and I am entirely different person
Right.
in an entirely different position. So not point of attraction, but the other day they said it's like you're if this were a teeter totter and the fulcrum moves, so as the fulcrum, and you get what I'm saying, or you don't, and it doesn't matter. From your new point of attraction, your new set point, you see things differently and hear things. There's no end to this learning and growing, and the cultivating, curating of this relationship with non-physical in whatever way is good to you.
Hmm. Perfect timing. Jack is calling me.
And it's like 2 minutes after. So
Uh-huh.
thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone for showing up. Thank you for watching now. While you're watching, we are going to put the link to the Abraham hot seater so you can get it from them. And then I will. I'm going to edit my notes a little bit and then I'm going to share them with you. And so feel free to leave comments in the section. And if you want to be a hot seater with me and vibe conversation, let me know. Hit me up. Noah,
Thank you for having me. Wah wah wah.
enchanté, mon chéri. Love you to the moon and back. You are my playful, frisky kitty cat friend.
No, you
Who
are.
always,
Now stop this. We gotta go. We could compliment each
I
other
was gonna
all
say
day long.
who always says yes when I call. So, all right. I love you guys. Thank you. Thanks for this journey. This is going to be a lot of fun. You
Bye.
all.
Oh, my here? Excuse me.